What's good, everybody? It's your brother Mad Black, the most dangerous and the most toxic black man on the internet, and I am black up in your face again with some more pro-black commentary. So, in this edition of Becky Ain't Shit, we are going to be talking about a particular Becky out of Florida named Alyssa Zinger, and she's been in trouble for over a year now because Alyssa Zinger is a 23-year-old woman who likes to sexually prey on middle school age boys. So, once again, a grown woman who likes to sexually prey on middle school aged boys. So, she got caught, obviously, because I don't think she's too bright. I do think that she has some sort of mental issue where that's why she gets along so well with middle school age boys. You know, she can't even go to get high school age boys. She has to go all the way back to middle school. But, because she doesn't seem to be too bright at all, because she puts her sexual escapades all over social media. In fact, that's how she trapped a lot of these boys, because she would go on social media and pretend to be 14 years old. Now, I don't know who could look at her and think that this is a 14-year-old, okay? Because she definitely does not look 14. That's a rough 14. That's like she's looking like one of the little weird old mutant kids from that movie, that animated movie Akira that came out years ago. Because that's an old 14 right there, I'll tell you. But, I guess this would work on actual middle school age boys who don't know any better. Maybe they think that she's 14, but, anyone with any sense would know that this is not a 14-year-old, right? So she would prey on them on social media and would be having sex with them. Then she would take those videos and share them with other boys on social media. So she's got a whole bunch of charges now. Everything from molestation to grooming to sending child pornography. So she should be in deep doo-doo, right? And now her parents are even being charged as well because they were trying to hide some of the evidence of, her sexual escapades on her phones and her devices and whatnot. But, the people have found out about this, so her parents might get charged as well. So let's take a listen to this news report about her so that way you can get a full view of how sick this chick is. I almost called her something else, but I'm trying not to use too much profanity in here. But, she deserves all of the ill will and the hatred and all of negative terms you could think of for her, because what she's doing is absolutely disgusting. And she ought to be locked up under the jail for what she's doing. Let's listen here to the news report to find out all the charges that are being put against Miss Alyssa Zinger.
And first up here at 10, a Tampa woman accused of posing as a homeschooled middle schooler over social media and molesting a student is now facing new charges. 4 more victims have come forward, accusing 23-year-old Alyssa Zinger of lewd and lascivious behavior. Fox 13's Jennifer Baglis joins us now live in the newsroom. And Jennifer, how long has this been going on?
Yeah, Brianna, you may recall our coverage in November when Alyssa Zinger was first arrested after one boy between the ages of 12 and 15 came forward, stating she posed as a 14-year-old over Snapchat and lured them to engage in sexual acts.
Now, 4 more victims, all between 12 and 15 years old, have come forward, stating Zinger targeted them too. Zinger, who had been released on bond.
What type of adult goes after a 12-year-old? And I don't even need to get into the whole comparing thing, because we all know what would happen if this was a man, a 23-year-old man, having sex with 12-year-olds. Okay? But let's listen some more.
from her November arrest was put in handcuffs again on Thursday, now facing 11 felonies, including lewd and lascivious battery and molestation, possession of child pornography, sexual cyber harassment, and more.
The charges are very serious.
Friday, ahead of Zinger's first appearance in court, State Attorney Susie Lopez called the case every parent's worst nightmare.
She was preying upon these victims who believed that they were actually her age when in fact she's a grown-up.
In November, Zinger was arrested by Tampa police. According to search warrants we obtained, in May 2023, she befriended students at Woodrow Wilson Middle School on Snapchat, posing as a 14-year-old homeschooled student, and engaged in more than 30 sexual acts with one or more students from the school.
30 sexual acts. Once again, up under the prison is where she ought to be.
Some she recorded and sent to other students. At the time, Zinger pled not guilty.
State Attorney's Office has a dedicated unit, the Special Victims Unit.
This chick, now I saw part of her arraignment where she tried to say she wasn't guilty of the child pornography because she claims that she wasn't the one that recorded it. Because, she was in the video with the boy, and I guess another boy was there recording them having sex. So she says, well, I didn't record the video, but she took it, put it on her phone, and then sent it around. So you are in possession of child pornography, okay? If you're in the video having sex with children, that's child pornography, lady. So like I said, she's not too bright at all. She's one of these airheaded blondes, but that does not excuse her behavior. Ignorance of the law does not mean you get to break the law. Let's listen some more.
Attorneys there are qualified and are trained to deal with cases such as this in dealing with young victims who have been through traumatic experiences.
Now, with a total of 5 victims coming forward, Lopez says there could be even more out there.
This is an ongoing investigation, and so she could have traveled to other counties. We just don't know at this point.
Friday, Zinger's defense attorney, Daniel Fernandez, spoke about what's to come this Monday in a pretrial hearing.
We're obviously going to be seeking bail, so we'll be filing our own motion.
Asked Tampa police if these 4 victims all go to Woodrow Wilson Middle. I'm told that can't be disclosed at this time. This is still an active investigation. I also reached out to Zinger's attorney for a comment on these new charges, but I have not heard back.
Of course you haven't. Of course you haven't heard back. Because there's nothing to say. There's nothing that she can say that can dissuade you to thinking that this woman is not a child molesting scumbag. Okay? And I know there's a lot of men online now because I guess Alyssa Zinger's videos are starting to showcase on certain parts of social media. Not her with the children, but her, posing in some tight pants or twerking or whatever. And there are these guys out there saying that they wish that they would have gotten molested or, taken advantage of by Alyssa Zinger when they were in middle school. No, I don't wish that on anybody, especially a young person. You do not want a disgusting, sick, mentally ill female like this to be your first sexual experience. You do not want some weirdo taking advantage of you to be your first sexual experience, because if your first sexual experience is something warped like this, it's going to warp and color all of your other experiences later on when you grow up to have real relationships with women. Not even, you won't even be able to get through high school properly because you won't be able to have a normal dating experience with girls your own age because you messed around with this sicko, right? So, for a lot of men, they don't really understand that. They're thinking with their penis, so they're not thinking, logically about what type of damage that can do to your mind and how that can affect you later on sexually and mentally, right? So you got to be careful with this, especially, and to me, I'm just thinking about how nasty she is. If she's out there having 30 sexual encounters with middle school boys, that means she doesn't clean her ass at all. I know she's just a nasty, trashy white female who will just put her mouth and her ass on anybody, right? So she probably is spreading diseases and everything else. STDs, and I know she doesn't wash properly. She probably smells like a dog, right? So she's spreading all that around town, and there are a bunch of idiots out here saying that she looks good or she's sexy or whatever. No, she's not. Okay, and once again, this is how a lot of males fall into these traps. Now, I can understand from the young men's perspective when they're in middle school. I can understand them falling for this. Okay, I'm not saying it's right, but I can understand them being dumb and ignorant at that age falling for this. And this is why you can't have this adult taking advantage of these young boys, because they don't know any better, right? And like I said, they don't realize what type of damage it's going to do to them in the years to come. Anyway, you folks let me know how you feel about this scumbag. But you see that I've talked about this several times on this channel about these molester Beckys and molester Karens. If it's not the damn teacher, now you got these chicken heads get on social media and pretend to be underage so that they can sexually prey on young boys. You guys let me know how you feel about it in the comments section. Anyway, this is Mad Black, and I will be back with my foot on the devil's back.